All right, so let's go ahead and go over. Oh, there it is. Fresh band for the day. All right, so Monday, getting close to the close here. We're going to take a look at our ETFs, 24-hour candle close, and of course, we did end up progressing. If you remember what we talked about last night, this is exactly what the fuck we talked about last night. If you watched the YouTube video, so going forward, there is a gap to the upside. I mean, you are closing above where sellers control the price. So if you are swinging these long, I have no arguments there. And that's obviously to the upside. Same thing with the Qs moving up. This one, obviously, no gap appeal, but it does have the 557.35 potential gap up and break. I hope it leaves a pocket of empty space behind because this would be sweet to play to the downside. It's just such a clean box. But anyway, IWM, same difference, right? So this one could set up for a potential swing into that 225. Or if you're looking a little bit further, I'm still paying attention to this channel here that we've been operating in. Obviously, this is an extension of a much larger channel. But with that being said, we could see ourselves up into that 227. Now, again, I'm trading off of empty space. So when I look at this, the potential 225, we have to look at what's outside of that or what's beyond that. Now, this is a difficult box, right? It is like, and basically, well, the way that I see this is like that. So if you break one, you should break some. I mean, it does look good in that manner. Um, yeah, we'll take you guys' request in just a moment. Yeah, I got this little cat bed that clips onto your desk, screws onto your desk, and like hangs off, dude. I wish you guys could see this. It's the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Does your cat actually use it?
Yeah, yeah, all three of them, except for
Nice.
we have four. The other one's just like 75 pounds, so she's not 75 pounds, but she's big as she's big. Um, let's see here. I wish I was Potter's cat. There you go. All right. So you guys make your decisions on what you want to do with those ETFs, but that is it for me with all three of them. They are still in range. There is no official close. The close looks good enough, right? Some point you have to hang on if that's what you're planning on doing. So yeah, I have no idea
Tomorrow
what kind of cat that.
you might get a better movement on ETFs just because CPI comes out in the morning and then that would help, break the range.
Yeah, so I was thank you. Tomorrow morning we do have data, right? So we have both SPY, right, and the Qs all up against those highs. So yeah, if data can come in hot. Now here's what I wouldn't want to see. Price move up overnight, right? Break out and then data yank us back down. So, and that could eliminate the, hedges. So if you do hedge, you kind of need to look at the absolute worst possibility and, maybe keep that incredibly low risk. Thank you for the hot dog, Bobby. Um, Potter goes insane with earnings. I do like a good earnings setup, that is for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about NIOI because I can't type. No, let's talk about Neo. So 24-hour time frame, guys. It's flipping on and off from red to green. We've had a good trade. Today was the third trim for some of us. I know some of you guys are just dealing with runners. Um, this is the way I'm playing this out in my head, and I just mentioned this earlier about potentially falling because we're struggling with that same 50% mark. Which guys, I don't know if this is like sometimes it's like damn, but it's also like damn. I just got a perfect like that's where we need to go and break. That's what we need to see. So I personally, if again I have it my way, I would like to see Neo come down, right? I'd like to see it go in gap fill. Now you could hedge for that, but my idea is that you return to the channel, right? Now this could set you up depending on how you fall. And we all know this, we want to fall fast. So I don't even know. Again, if you're out long and you're just dealing with profits, don't go crazy on trying to hedge something that's already, just play. That being said, um, if it holds, and it is holding right now, I'm not going to do this for a swing trade. Our goal, and again, this could flip up and try to close green at 413, but my goal is to gap outside of 422, just how we gapped up above 405. But you guys see how, and I talked about this in class, how cost basis on the 24-hour time frame is still, again, we held onto our floor, but what have we gained? So when we ask ourselves what is above and what's below, nothing's happening. We had a great opportunity to trim today at 422, which was right in line with that target, and I have another target directly up above me that I think it's worth holding for, regardless if it does retest, it retest, and I will hedge in that moment for that potential gap down. So anyway, Yo Potter, could you explain when y'all entered and what percentage y'all hit from this? I hit over, I think I hit 2,700% on this one. I entered, I believe me and Cade talked about this one on Monday. I got in on this, 1 second, I'll tell you. I got in on this. Where the fuck are you at? There you go. On the 9th and the 10th. So yeah, the 10th right here and then the 9th right here. I did buy small positions around Monday, um, coming off of that bounce, but yeah, we bought it, a lot of us bought it inside of the box because the contracts were fried, completely worthless. And I really mean they were completely worthless. $2 and $3, some a dollar. And so just even the first move, actually, when we took it, funny enough, right towards the end of the day, um, everybody was already up, 100, 200%. And then we had that great move. The next day, went and hit our target, provided the trim, $4, and then we got a nice gap up today. So it's again, every wick really does matter. And so I'd like to see us gap up above 422, and we have the right catalyst and momentum to hit my target at 470. So I'm still, right now, the position is paid for it. I'd be an idiot to panic about some shit that hasn't happened yet, which is true in life. All right. So moving on in CLH, which I ended up taking, again, 24-hour candle close. Looks good. This is about as much as we can ask for. We don't have like the clearest 24-hour floor. The floor here around 23 is holding up. So tomorrow we'll have a 2370 pit stop, and then of course there is 24 and 2414 up there that we can try to hold on to. But I do like the way that it is closing at the moment. 1000s, yeah, really 1000
Mara,
percent.
Mara is really trying to fill that hourly gap down there. It's got a few more cents to go, but I'm watching it.
You said Mara.
Yeah, it's done falling down. I took some shorts on it earlier. The shorts did really well.
Yeah, the move up
I
today
didn't.
was spectacular. It hit my first target
Oh
and
yeah,
then fucking free falled from there. Now that could end up spelling
it was
problems.
just it was just too big of a gap. When Mara leaves a big enough gap like that, it
Well,
usually doesn't take long.
this goes back to the workshop too. What did you gap up above? Nothing. You had to have held price today at 4 2060, and you're not. Um, so yeah. Um, I'm not really looking at taking a ton of bank earnings. Again, I'm not limiting you guys from doing that, but it just doesn't look super attractive to me at the moment. I'll relook at it. So, all right. Real Pepsi. I just want to cover this really quickly. It does look pretty good for the potential break over 136.78. Again, earnings is right around the corner, literally on Thursday. We have a target of 139 and 150. Or excuse me, 140. Damn, 150 be sick. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. So Okay, cool. All right, so let's go ahead. We got plenty of time here for you guys to go ahead and drop your requests, and we'll see if we can't add a couple. Let me go ahead and rush over this light speed. You can go ahead and start dropping your requests if you're in the Discord. PDD dropped today, and I actually talked about wanting that to happen, and it did. Now, it's weird taking something off of a red solid candle close, but it's also something that moves overnight. So, again, that's incredibly risky to just buy it off of this red, this red hammer. It can and will gap up off of that, but a lot of the times, and this is what's so troubling about this, I don't think it gaps up all the way to 115. If anything, it gaps up, into the 107s, and I'll make my decision there. So no rush on PDD. Kava, it got real close to that trigger. Again, this one's long off in the distance because it has to break through that trigger. ALK was added to the watch list as well. This one gapped down far away. Not gonna look at this one and well, honestly, with the gap fill that it has up above it, yeah, minor gap fill that it has above it. 5450 is going to be a lower time frame trigger for sure. Apple, this is just going to help because I know a lot of people are going to ask anyway. Apple is leaving a ton of gaps behind. Today, you went and tapped cost basis on the dot on the 2 hour here. And so that's confirming to us that if we can break up above that, that could trigger that third touch of 1250, sorry. And maybe give us finally some fucking direction. Today we did wick down and we touched what we talked about touching again. And if that is lost, that's where we look down towards the 205s. But do we have that signal and are we still holding at the moment? I would say yes. Sunrun, again, no signal here yet. It still has a while to go, but it is on the approach of 11:15 that I'd like to look at that one. And this is just having patience, guys. We make big gains, but we have to be precise, if we want to make sure that these work out. KSS, same thing, right? Stagnant. And that's okay because we need a candle close. I will say good if we can get a 971 open on a 24-hour candle close, I'd be a little bit more enthusiastic about ripping out of $10. So we touching what we talked about touching. That's a wild statement. I never said that. In just a second, I'm going to have to go out and grab my Indian food. It's going to be a mukbang in here. They had chicken nuggets and a hamburger, so I got that. No,
You did what?
nothing. All right. Starbucks. Nothing, but it did leave a gap behind. It is curling up, and I do like it tomorrow, potentially giving us a climb up above 94.42. Now, right now it has empty space, so if you wanted to try right now, you could, but just make sure that your risk to reward is sound. Your target right now is to get back up to 98. There's no guarantee that that breaks. When it does, we'll have 102 and 104 as two targets, immediate targets there. You live close to ATL? Yeah, I live close to ATL. 4 hours, if that's close. Do you mind repeating what? Oh. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Everything is in stagnant mode right now. So let's see if we can find anything to add to the watch list. OMC. Okay. Okay. I think you're in a weekly range. Almost. It's interesting little fucking. You don't even have a clear floor there, but you did dip down into that basically cost basis right here. Nope. Okay, so off the rip, again, looking at how my setups play out, I don't see any empty space. That's number one. Number two, this is what you're rejecting off of. And then directly underneath you, this is what you broke out of. And it looks like today you solidified that sellers are still, in fact, in control. And they are trying to drive price into that next terrible volume box underneath you. And so, you could basically say on the 4 hour above 73.50, gap fill, upside. Uh, and then today's low, that's cost basis. And, again, this is all structured up, but you have the floor down there. So, I mean, it could look good over that 73.50 to go long. Ooh, they're here. Would you believe that an Indian guy is actually delivering the food too? Just kidding.
So racist.
You
Some guy
paid
named
extra for
Angel.
that.
I
I was
didn't.
about to say, what the hell?
Um, no, some dude named Angel. 52.15, right? You are there. So if you're taking your bet on that empty space, I say 54.45 and 58.40 are two targets, and then runners up into possibly the 60s.
Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick ass boy.
When did we put the soundboard back on here?
There goes the soundboard.
I
When did that?
unmuted it for the first time today and immediately muted it again.
Guess he really likes hymns. All right, 1 second.
Who did the soundboard?
All right. When I first heard the word mukbang, thought it was something totally different. All right. 24-hour time frame. We're gonna try some of this mango lemonade. Parched.
You skipped him.
No, I didn't. It looks terrible. Ugh, that's terrible. Ew. Gross. No, I didn't. I fucking did it. 58.45 and then that potential downtrend. Right there. 61.60 possibly. All right. Gaslighting me. AMD, that's not it. So, I mean, there's really not much to say when you're dealing with this situation right here. You are closed. I mean, again, everybody has a job to do. You look at what's underneath you. You have, little speckles of empty space, but you have a lot of wicks trying to pull this back up. And today you were, even with those wicks, you were unsuccessful in breaking out. So it's going to rely on overnight price action to open up outside of that mark to really give this thing its next target, which is of 150.80. So limited price target and inconspicuous as closed because, again, this could be something where we gap down overnight and you find yourself with 1, 2, 1, 2 heading back down, buckle my shoe. Yeah, and there's even a gap down there. So that one's tough. It might be something that needs to be hedged, right? That's a scenario. I get that question, when and where. Well, if you were already long or deciding that this is something you would want to take, is it confirmed? No. Is there a potential that it completely reverses and goes back down to the floor? Yes. Is that a potential hedge? Yes. Right? Now, whether or not that works out contract wise, that's another question. My shit gonna die? What are you talking about, boss? Oh, okay, LO. What do you mean your shit's gonna die? You mean your phone's gonna die? Plug it in, chief. Plug it in, plug it. If you go to McDonald's, it's free. So I mean, you can't argue with a good candle close. So I would say your next target is 64.12, and then you're looking for a move through that range because it is not. I guess I have to. It is a box. Yeah, I guess you could say it's a box. But yeah, I guess the 50% mark is where you're looking for a potential punchback, and then I believe this is all-time highs. So hopefully this is the candle that does it. Let's see, what do we got next here? KSS. So like I said before, not the greatest candle close here. The 4 hour not really showing me any super strength. We are holding decently, but more consolidation could follow here. TSLL, or Tesla. So TSLL went and tapped said target today and failed. And looking at Tesla, which is obviously the main director here, this is a tough call, folks. If you're still in Tesla or you're still holding Tesla, today's wick was, I mean, precision. It was right off of that level, same one that we hit before. And that's, in my opinion, pretty close. Yeah, it is the floor. Contact, and then refusal. So that floor of 323 is clearly the resistance, right? And that's I think that even with the punchback, it's got to go. That being said, when I look at this, my instincts tell me that, well, I was going to say my instincts tell me that there is the potential here to come off of 1-2, 1-2, but at the same time, when I look at what a seller is intended, like with the one I just did previously, that's weakness. This, upon that rejection, is holding. So if you were or are still long on this, right, I think that with the floor that you have underneath you, you're okay, right? But you like on the 30-minute and you have to have 317 close. So, is this a scenario that I would hedge into? Depends on, when and where you got in. You have enough triggers underneath you and signals, to kind of let you know. But I mean, the play is still potentially there. We also did the same thing here, right? Bounced back up, looked pretty green, and then ended up with a fat gap. So, does this have a clear setup at least right now? We'll see how it closes. If it can get a little bit closer, I think to even 318.71 because of the 24-hour time frame, I would feel a little bit more bearish. All right. ENPH. I don't know what this food is, but it smells pretty bussin'. I've never had goat biryani, bruschetta.
Biryani is fire. Just depends on the place you get it from.
The best Indian place in Savannah, I think.
What else
No.
did you get?
Forgot.
All right. Next time you order, let me help you order.
Think I had somebody, of that,
Of my
taste.
descent.
No, I didn't say that at all. So you took those weren't even words that were in my mouth.
You could have just said it though.
It's not what I,
Did you just say of his paste?
no, Jesus Christ, of his taste, of his he knows what he's talking about. That's what I was trying to say.
My kind.
That's even worse. All right,
What?
we're gonna backtrack. I got goat biryani, ratha, garlic naan, gulab jamun, and a mango
Gulab jamun?
lemonade. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's a good dessert.
Yeah, we'll try it. I can feel it's cold. All right. So with EMPH, you have another rejection today. So if you're looking up, obviously that seems like it could be killed. At the end of the day, it's going to be underneath 41 that you see that decline down. Now, again, my question is, where is the empty space is up to 44, but today's high is that break, for sure. You people is crazy.
Who said that? Let me
No,
ban 'em.
they were they were pretending to quote me. All right. So Hims looks good. Yeah, Hims is looking pretty decent. No arguments there. How much this is going to garnish or accumulate, I don't have the contracts up right now, so
Yeah, the
Contracts are a little
60s are
pricey.
kind of expensive.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pricey.
I had a feeling.
The
Instinct.
60s are like somewhat, but that's kind of far out.
Jesus.
Super far.
I bought 55s for 62 cents.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Damn.
a good entry.
Uh, you got earnings coming up, so I mean, what are you looking to do to this thing? Up for earnings, $300 call for Friday. Uh, if the risk to reward is there, that's a feasible target. My question is, does this do that on earnings? Damn. It looks like you had a pre-earnings move almost. No. Maybe. Eh, that's good, but not the right way. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's decent. So you need one of those, obviously, and you do have empty space up there, but that's something I don't have here, right? And I don't, the only thing I have empty right now is down, and that's 276. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but that one looks, again, for earnings trade, yeah. I'm not really, again, bank earnings aren't exciting me. We could maybe after hours, if you guys are down, I'll stop the recording and then we'll if you guys want to post like the earnings setups for the week after bank earnings, we can start building a watch list and maybe even look at some things that could run up into earnings and take those positions going into the rest of the if you do take longer expiration things on these, those could work out, but you could get drained on IV. Google with a nice rip up, but a failure to really grab hold. But I mean, as far as sellers doing their job, they're failing. You still are holding up against that resistance. So even an overnight gap down could set this up to still rip. So I mean, if you're long on Google or you're still holding off, or still holding on to this one, it does have, cost basis directly up above it that I suspect would be your next target. But the empty space is, limited because it kind of, in a way, that was right in the most recent price action, a bit of it got filled. So, um, yeah. If someone wants to post that chart in live trading chat, we'll look at it when the bell rings as I mukbang. I'm going to turn my camera off. What?
Huh?
Hmm? What happened? Uh, what do you guys want from me? No, I'm just kidding. This is still looking south. Clearly, today or the previous days, Friday's bounce wasn't enough. Um, but yeah, so I would say right now you got to chill until one of these ranges because you're in a tight block. You have a target down below underneath 297 for that 291.50. But of course, right now, even the way that you dumped it towards the end of the day or today, gives it the potential to reverse tomorrow and break back up. So this is kind of a read and react scenario where 318 would be the upside target. And then obviously 291, 293 would be the target downside. So um, Walmart, I mean, give me a ball gag and a chain,
What?
It's a technical thing, okay?
No, it's not.
Yo,
What's
I
I
think
think
we're
we're I
I
think we're going off the rails here.
don't pink shame them.
The first thing I hear when I come into this live.
Or you coming into my
Mark,
live, dude. All right. So we've got, I mean, this is, yes, sizing up, moving in for a
Oh my
potential
god.
it's a torture chamber, bro. I don't know what you want me to say, but you get my point, right? That was the main thing is you feel me. And
I
then
don't.
I
I
do
don't.
feel you.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should have Ivy post a picture of Potter every time he says something outrageous, bro. I think that's a good deal.
Yep.
why are you
Do it.
guys brokering deals?
We'll
No.
start tipping Ivy the pictures.
Freaky ass technicals. Listen, I read this in a stock market book, okay? Um, so again, we're in a weekly box. I think today confirms that you do hold the floor, at least for now. I guess, you can't say confirm, that's cheap. But yes, ultimately, if this can even just engulf up to 97.20, that's where you can start looking at that overhead of 99 to break. And that's huge. That's huge. But it has been a constraint now since May. So at some point, again, this has got to give. But cost basis underneath you, doing its job, holding. And so really you're relying on what's above, and that's probably going to be where you move into the lower time frame and look at, this is the greater details, folks. So can we tell by what we look at on the hourly that whether or not Walmart has the potential to reverse? Of course, right? There's already boxes and volume right around cost basis, one above, one below. And so what do we have in between us and that, right? We have 96, 60. So if you were in this, you would have to use like the top of this box or even 95.14 as a stop loss, and you would be looking up for 96.60. Cost basis is the end of that empty space, so it would be 96.92. If that breaks, I'm pretty sure you can start targeting the empty space up at the top. Now that's going to be the kicker, because that's what I would dub as low resistance, right? Or low overhead resistance. There's a pre-market box, right? It's not enough to stop price as it hopefully, right, not hopefully, but technically rips through that empty space. So there is on a higher time frame, yeah, it's a little torture chamber. But if you can work out the lower time frame, this is the difference, right? Some setups don't require that much attention. And some setups do. This one does, for sure. All right. Target up. So still waiting on this one. Good candle close today, but not enough to fully convince me. I think tomorrow's candle, I could see a nice green rip out of this one to 108. But it is unfortunately not giving off of a 24-hour signal. So it's the lower time frame that really is my focus right now. And today's high, which matches a previous high of 105, right? That is our current constraint in what we need to go ahead and break up above. Now you're operating inside of a box. So what is above, what is below, right? And then at that point, it's just a small 106 mark. 106 and of course 105. So you need to have juice. Hopefully we get some Target earnings overnight. All wives meet at Target at the same time in universal coordinates. Let's see here. CNC. Yeah, you guys are talking about that one. Well, that's not really bullish. You got a lot more empty space on the 24-hour. On the weekly, again, you could move all the way down, hit 29, bounce back up, and hold 31, and it would still count as a weekly.
It never hit the trigger.
Yeah. So with that being said, I see 30 and I see 29.37. Unless something above that you built today can get reclaimed, but I don't see it. All right, Target.
It'll be fun to know that J Diamond and then we're pushing it all morning, and they're all long on it. And they got wrecked.
I'll tease him about it later. Get his blood pressure up and then leave. I love doing that, like scrolling away. I'll see him while like I'm in the bathroom, just get up and go about my day.
I just saw something I didn't want to see. TikTok got me. They had a little headline about Conor McGregor, and I went and Googled it, like something happened to him. No, nothing happened to him. Just don't go look at the leaked text message you sent to a reporter.
You saw it?
Oh dear Jesus!
Did it wink at you?
We'll talk
Fuck,
about it.
dude.
We'll talk about it later.
You had a weight attached to it.
Oh my God, guys. 102.75, please, God. This is going on YouTube. 102.75 is the upside. You are bouncing off of the median, a weight hanging off of it. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Let's short it.
Jesus Christ. I listen, with UPS, I think right now with today's on a lower time frame, you have like a series of boxes underneath you. So, at the moment you are holding cost basis, tomorrow's your last chance to get. I actually would set an alert right there at 101.35 if you're watching UPS to the upside, this thing's got to give. And I don't know if it's going to end up heading down here, but with that gap up above and the empty space that it left, I think they wrap in sellers before they give it up. That means maybe they leg it down to that 97.50, but keep your eye out for empty space. What the fuck is Tash? I don't have a ticker on that one. BDX. So this one is, low volume. I think I talked about this one previously. Target would be 193.75 if you can recover, but your catalyst list right now, you don't really have any volume driving in this one. Today's candle does show strength, but ultimately it'd still be a candle close outside of 179.36 to get you even up towards the top of that channel at 182.40. Our cats, they're a little far away, John. A little far away. That looks good. Obviously a nice strong break through the 50% mark. So you're looking at 11.05 and the box up above, right? And that's going to be 11.37 and 12 flat. So not a bad push there. Again, that's hopefully something that you're already in, but SLP, that looks interesting. You got earnings coming up today. Is that today? It is today. No shit. How does it move on earnings? Not good. Not good. Well, I guess good because it opens up and dumps. Not great. Decent. Okay, so it can rip. Much of those contracts. That's interesting.
Not too bad for him, to be honest with you. And even if you're targeting the upside, what, 23, 25 roughly?
2050. 2250. It's not my favorite thing in the whole world. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, this isn't one that makes me feel like Nike does. But
Can you break that down? Because when I look at it, I'm like, yo, this looks simple. You know what I mean? Straightforward. We got consolidation, and then third tap, we go into empty space.
because it doesn't look like it's as reliable as Nike, volume wise. What the fuck is Stimulations Plus?
I mean,
Do you really want to know?
News coming. News coming.
who's gonna tell him?
It's owned by Shmuley.
I'll give it my best guess if you want.
Wait. Where's my milk balls?
That's diabolical.
Wait,
Right
what?
after that,
My goodness.
I was just asking.
where's my milk balls?
But we have the soundboard.
Oh, I
taken away.
found them.
Milk and balls.
No, I
in
found
the
them.
same
Stop.
fucking sentence. You
Somebody
found
mute.
them?
Somebody
Well, that's
mute.
good.
down?
Somebody mute Cade.
Sorry
Oh
for
my
any-
god.
Well, that's fucking good. Did you stand up and find them?
Right.
Okay, hold on a second. Didn't I read something that said that there would be no swearing?
I know, right?
That was a joke.
Well, last time me
That
and
was a
Potter
joke.
tried that, we made it 2 seconds, and it was already up to like $200 in the swear jar. So that's not going to happen.
Lori,
Listen.
you've been here long enough to know that he's just talking out of his culo.
Fuck. If we do
I'm
a swear
telling you.
jar, that's gonna be for Ivy. Should we do it?
You don't say milk and balls in the same sentence and not warrant a response.
Fuck yeah, let's
It's
do
going
it.
to get a response.
You know what? I'm testing your strength. That's like a play that's breaking out and you missed. Right? Do you say something? Do you chase it? No. You let it go.
Are you edging us? Is that what you're saying? You
All right,
weirdo?
we're done. All right,
See,
anyway.
we don't talk like that. Like, Astro, you took it too far.
Shut the fuck up. You just said something was hanging off of something, dude. What are you talking about?
You said milk balls.
All right, well, that's because it was a food.
No, you said who's milking my who's milking my balls?
There you go.
That's not
That's what I heard.
said.
That's exactly what
crazy.
you said. No one's in your corner, bro.
I could hate all of you. All right. This is
Stop picking on him. Stop picking on him.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him, Lori.
He's the one who likes it.
I don't.
Little white canicas.
Whoa. Oh my god. Bastard. Real quick, this is bolted underneath 51. So that's what you need. I mean, the weekly, and then start looking for 57.15 at the same time. You're weak as fuck. Oops, there it goes. There's a dollar. You're weak as heck. And so I'd be looking underneath you at 48 to break down as well.
Jared, did you already look at hymns? If you did, I'll just go find the video.
You're fine. It's closing as green as it can up against that floor, so we can't expect for 58.75 to get hit tomorrow. So, I mean, that's as green as it gets. So,
Thank you.
Palantir all-time highs again.
Oh, beautiful.
CLH pushing.
Damn.
Sorry. So this one did fill up all of its empty space, but it looks like it wants to gear up for another ripperoni. That's over $8.
Where's it, Ari?
Ari. And I would be looking towards 950 and 1030. I do still have that. Not white canikas.
You look at Docu, please.
What'd you say?
DocuSign.
DocuSign, yeah. Real quick. Yeah, Elf is doing the dumpy beautifully. I still am aiming for 102. Candle close is beautiful. Good candle on that engulfment, but you did rip fast. So if you're gonna rip fast, you got to keep your fucking foot on the gas pedal underneath you. This is the floor you recovered, so whew, that's a long ways away. And what is above you? So this is clearly floor 1, even just this green candle here at 76.30. But ultimately, I think just reclaiming and reusing this box right here, considering you kind of have an open 78.80. Yeah, I mean, this one you got to be patient on, but 77.32, 78.25, and then 79.20 would be where I'd feel a little bit better about taking this up to 83.90.
You have 2-week calls, and also on NVO 2-week calls.
Hey, real quick, anybody that's still holding that TMC play that I've been in forever, it just popped like a mother effer.
Yeah, I think they gave me vegetable biryani. A lot of colorful shit in there. 1894 is where we're bouncing on Mara. I do have a few contracts left, but I don't really have great faith in this one to do anything. At least not at the moment. I think you need a 1816 bounce or right here, and that should be right around 1810, 1809. So that's what I'm looking for on Mara. But if you still have it, you know, again, it is leaving behind decent, not lower time frame empty space, but higher time frame empty space. But today's loss, right, definitely gave sellers the ball. And now that they've filled the gap, it is pausing. So we need to get crypto needs to put its foot on the gas at the moment as well. I haven't looked at crypto. No shit. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, okay, so I don't know where the hell that came from. Well, you're building off of that. You ripped up to hit. Damn, you hit 123. I didn't even see that. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to look at crypto here as a guide. You know, you have a box down here that'd make for a nasty little crypto short, potentially back down to the highs. Damn. That actually would be pretty nasty. You ripped so hard and fast. All right, let's go. BA. We're almost here to the close. I'm starving. I need to eat this food. Good close. Good hold. 24-hour candles obviously arguing, saying that 231.30 is where they want to control the price. You know, a little bit after expansion comes contraction. And if I was a betting man, I would say that you're likely there's a good chance that you can open up in range, right? Decent. Now with this candle close and curl back up like it is right there, if you were holding this long, I would just try to, you know, again, prepare for tomorrow's open, you know, 228.88, being kind of like that stop loss area. I can't. The lower time frame doesn't look bad at all. You know, the more even the 4 hour looks pretty reasonable. The 24 hour, maybe that could change here towards the end of the day, and hopefully maybe close above 230, 140. So, MU. Okay, so that went and tapped my target today, I guess. Yeah. Damn, that was fire. Okay. Now what next? So you tap my target, you got a box underneath you. The box is giving you a cost basis of 14. You bounce, but when you bounce, you didn't recover anything, but you are still holding the floor. So it's in between the two. You got empty space up above you. It's pretty damn interesting. So I mean, if you get above today's bounce, 120, you should go right back up to 121. But you don't have that signal, right? You don't know. Now, I mean, because again, that's what you're supposed to bounce off. You are. Yes, you're supposed to grab that, but as long as buyers are still holding up 117, then yeah. That one is a read and react scenario for sure. All right, Tesla close, looking good. Decent. Yeah, looking better. Coke puts. No. I mean, you got to make that decision relatively soon. It's tough. Damn, Big O. Um, listen. I'm not one to short a floor like this. If you're gonna short it though, I'd want to short it before it actually gets to the floor, so you're not getting caught with the bounce. And so if you were to swing that short, you know, again, I would say 69.50 is absolute no. SLP is ripping. It looks good. I mean, I took a little bit. I mean, again, I'm not familiar with this stock either. So, you know, if it decides to rip up, it's got a good base. It's not super complicated. The way it moves isn't as reliable. So there's a little bit more risk behind it. And, you know, you guys can tell.
It was real low too. It's
Yeah,
like
I don't think I'm not participating in this SLP.
I
This
just
is the first one where I'm like, good job, good luck. I'm all set.
I mean, I got a little bit, but, you know,
I was just
2250
looking
is.
at. I might be reading too far into it, and maybe this is a good lesson for this one because I've never looked at this stock also. But like when I was looking past at how it performs with, um, its boxes that it has during earnings or anything, even if it has it, it like really just doesn't move until after. It'll start picking up speed. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll get an entry tomorrow, and if not, then good job, everyone.
Yeah,
Did you
that one's not barking at me anything. What's up?
are you gonna
Yeah.
get into JPM?
No.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, not for me.
Got you.
If it looked like that, maybe, but no.
Mm.
I need something better than
What
that.
about JP Morgan tomorrow? Any of you guys playing that one?
This one? Yeah, I'm not. That's what I was talking about. I'm not a big fan of bank earnings in general, so if the setup isn't like extremely clean, then Dollar General needs 115.17 and 1816.83, and then you have a little bit. I have a target of 122 here. If you're looking for a longer move on Citigroup, like that's fine, but yeah, Citigroup has a ton of empty space, so if you're aiming up, go for it, but just not a bank boy. I'll say 116.
You like
long.
cryptocurrency?
You said a cryptocurrency guy?
I'm just messing.
Oh shit. I'll look at it. I'll look at XRP after close.
I don't care.
You don't care about? Wait, what? Sorry, I disassociated.
Yeah, I don't care about crypto. I have like one Bitcoin.
You have one single Bitcoin?
No, like a tenth.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn. It's pretty good. A whole Bitcoin, please. Again, my first question is, the downside does provide empty space, but today's curl did give you a retest of that floor of 976. So if you can finish, you do have empty space at 1031, but if you can finish with a rejection and loss of that 9 floor, then I would try to aim for 830 and obviously 760. Lord have mercy. Johnson and Johnson. So, I think long term, we've talked about this one. It's got a good base. It does look like it has the potential to go up. It's never something that I think I'll ever trade again. You look at it across the board, and it's just a fucking nightmare if you're not long. It almost looks like Apple in the sense where it's just in this large 24-hour weekly range. The target could be 160, but the risk to reward on this just seems, and then also the 24-hour candle close today tells us nothing. All right, so yeah, Neo fucking closing beautifully. Beautifully. I am swinging it. You can hedge if you want. I'm not.
Dude, this TMC took the fuck off.
Oh yeah, look at that ripper.
Why would it be we can't buy SPL?
Wait, what?
I can't buy it. It says that stock is closed for open for buys.
Really? SLP,
Yeah,
not SPL.
Yeah, SPL. Yeah, that's the one.
No,
Well, I
SLP.
looked up
SLP.
Yeah, I know. I seen it up on your board.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
I looked at it, and it looked like I had some space, and I can't. But they won't allow me to buy a Tasty Trade.
Hasty trade. That I
Can-Am
don't.
just took off
Wait,
again.
that I don't know. Nvidia is closing in range. Slight. This one I think could go for some more consolidation. But you don't really have a breakdown until you lose 162.50. So, KVU. Okay, I mean, I see the empty space. You've already filled up so much of it, though. I don't know how difficult that's going to be, but yeah, the volume on this sucker too is just rough. So, right here, that needs a strong move. You do have earnings coming up, so with earnings maybe 23.32. They look at A&F. Oh yeah. I just saw an article the other day that said the rise and fall of A&F. I was like, you know what? Maybe you should buy that. On the weekly, it looks like you might be able to muster 104. But I mean, that is a great deal of empty space that you just kind of left behind. You've dipped 50% of the weekly empty space as well. So, Potter, can you explain the punchback as if I'm stupid? Okay, like stupid as in like you're pissing me off, or like stupid as in like this might be a disability, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to make it awkward.
Oh. Yeah, both.
All right. All right, so you want the first one or the second one? Do you miss the second one? No, I want
The
Super to
second-
it to him. Steve, I'm just joking, guys. So, all right, listen here, dumbass. No, I'm just kidding. So, punchback is quite literally where we find an area of consolidation, just like here on the weekly, which just goes to show you every time frame. Find an area of consolidation, typically marked out by multiple bounces, typically 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that gives us a range, a box, right? At that point, we have the rectangle with the center line on it, drop it there. If it loses its floor, right? Or even if it was to go up first, but in this case, it loses its floor. This leaves that box behind, right? We haven't punched through it, or we haven't pushed through the 50% mark. We've just lost our box. So when we break through the 50% mark of that box with a candle close, like here, that is what guarantees me a new high. Now, typically what guarantees me or lures me into a trade is whether or not it has empty space. And in this case, it just had really clean boxes all the way up, which again, this is multiple examples actually of cost basis and the punchback. So is that make sense? So you're literally just saying, like, so if we were to look at what's above us on A and F, right? If we were to go all the way up, fill your empty space, build a box, right? So rip up, build a box, and then we dip back down and punch up. If you go and you break 150, that would give you a new high, right? You would be looking for a new high outside of that actual box. And that goes for, and a lot of trades that we take aren't necessarily punchbacks. They're just going into that rule, right? Good close, guys, on Neo, by the way. Fucking bitchin' ass close. Like that's the kind of close that can give us, we've gone past we're at the 3 days, right? Typically it's 3 days of rippage, and then we'll start opening up in range. So if we open up in range tomorrow, we're gonna have a hard time for another week, I think. But if we can, push up and out. But if you actually go back, it is. I was hoping today would rip a little harder, but it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here, even with this bullshit little box, it's 1, 2, and then you get 3 and it's sideways. So hopefully we get a little bit of a better rip. Yeah, right there, 4 days. We'll see. Yeah, Neo held strong. So, this is coming off of Catalyst. It's been a long time since it has moved in this manner. I think, yeah, since April, we haven't had a significant move like this. So I think, 445 should be big. But I guess today is what we would consider to be the weekly wall to our left. So we'll see. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. Just focus on the price. So did I do that one? You're watching the 1 hour, the book. All right. So I see 59.24 and 58.50, sorry, and then 59.24 above your current price. That's on the 2 hour. But there definitely is more room up there to go and tap. So that was a good little candle bounce. I don't think I have any of that. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I sold it all last week. I closed at 2,200% on some of those Neo contracts. 800% on a few of them. 600 and 75%. It's not bad. Is SLP ripping? That is not ripping.
Yeah, that was
Give it time. Give it time.
rolling.
I got a
I
new
gotta
sound for you guys. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah, you got to look at it on the
Bruh.
look at it on the minute time frame, and then you'll see it. You know what I'm saying?
It's ripping on the 1 second.
Ripping. Go to the 30-second.
Shut
real
off the
quick.
soundboard. No. Where's my milk balls?
What?
Aquí las
Potter,
traigo.
dude. Someone's got to get this guy.
Don't ever underestimate the power of Neil.
YouTube, if you're watching this back later, Somebody send me like a vial of cyanide or something.